there, great family here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Definitely not doing blues today. Definitely more in the classic rock vein. And we're going to talk about building some speed. Really not so much about like how to do that. I mean, it's part of the game, but one of the things that happens a lot when you hear those really fast pentatonic runs is there's a lot of slurring going on. There's a lot of hammer-ons, there's a lot of pull-offs, there's a lot of 16th notes. So we're going to kind of talk about all of those things. I have a lick for you. And it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and that's a pretty simple, straightforward kind of idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but you'll notice that I'm not picking very much, and that's what we're going to get to today. So this is in the key of C. Okay, so C minor, box 1, starting from the flatted 7th and hammering onto the root. All right, so we're going to count 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and there's a little bit of a pickup, very common kind of thing. There's our pickup, 1E and So notice that I'm going to pick the E flat, and I'm going to pick the C, but then I'm going to pull off to the B flat and hammer on back to the C. 1E and you should be able to do that very consistently. 1E and 2E and 3E and just do it over and over. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and Now with hammer-ons and pull-offs like that, it's really challenging to play them at a slow tempo and keep them very, very even. So that's really what you want to focus on. If it's helpful to you, set a metronome. Now, I'm a little funny with the metronome. I love a metronome, don't get me wrong. I think metronomes are fantastic, as long as you can stick to the metronome. If you are one of those people that struggles with counting already and counting is not your jam and you really, really have a hard time with it, it's probably not going to help to have a metronome on. It's probably going to do you more good to just count out loud. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2A and 3 and tap your foot on the downbeats. Be careful that you don't go 1E and 2E and that is not 16th notes, those are 8th notes. We need 16th notes. 1E and 2, 3E and 4E and okay? When you got that one, the next beat, we have the flatted 3rd to the 4th to the 5th, back to the 4th. So 8, 10, 8, 10. 1E and 2E and you can do that by itself. You can put them all together. 4E and 1E and 2E and right? Just to make sure you got it all by now. You're going to have to get this memorized, so get your head off the page as soon as you possibly can. The last beat, we're just going to walk up the scale. 8, 10, 8, 11, 8. E flat, F, G, B flat, C. So when we put this all together, 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4. And what I really want to focus your attention on is doing the hammer-ons and pull-offs as I've prescribed. At slower tempos, you're going to be inclined to, if hammer-ons and pull-offs are hard for you, your inclination at slow tempos is going to be to pick stuff. But then you're not going to get the practice you need on the hammer-ons and pull-offs. So then you're going to go faster, and your inclination is going to be to do the hammer-ons and pull-offs because it's going to be hard to pick it, but you're not going to be able to because you didn't do it at the slow tempos. So make sure that right from the get-go here, 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4. On beat 3, That really is a pull-off to a downbeat, and that's going to be a challenge. Again, 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4. And you want to try many, many different tempos. So once you've got this memorized and you can play it at a nice slow tempo, that's when you might want to bring the metronome on board. For example, if I break out my metronome here, and let's say I put it at a nice slow 60 beats per minute. All right, so this is 60. It's a nice slow speed. It's about as slow as we really want to go. We have 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3 and 4. 1, 2E and 3, 4E and 1E and 2E and 3 and 4. Easy enough, right? So start there. Now, if you can't do it at that, if you can't keep up at that pace, that's where you're going to want to just go back to counting, right? Get to the point where you can, again, count comfortably, no metronome at all. But let's say that you can do it at 60. If you can do it at 60, let's bump it up to 80. 1, 3, 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4. 1, 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4. If you can do that, let's try 100. 1, 2, 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how it's nice and even still. Let's go up to 120. 2, 3, 4. Now at this point, it's going to get hard. I can't say 1E and a 2E. I guess I can. A 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. Okay, so I can still count it. Let's go to 140. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4. Probably at 150. That was 140. Let's go to 150. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's tough, right? But try, you're going to think to yourself, you're going to be like, that's crazy. I could never, ever, ever play it at that tempo. I get it. I get that. Even though it seems like a crazy tempo, try it. Try it anyway. Give it a few tries. You're probably going to step on it. You're probably going to play, just going to be all wrong, all kinds of wrong. That's okay. What I want you to do is, yes, you have to play things slow and in control. You also have to push the issue if you want to play faster. If you want to do, I always think back to like when I was growing up listening to the solo to Freebird, right? Like, I mean, that just sounded so amazing. And it's at about that tempo. And there's all these 16th notes, right? All that kind of stuff. If you want to be able to do that stuff, you can get there. You just have to do it in an organized way. And one of the big facets of that organized way is using a variety of tempos, not just trying to do slow and steady increments. Slow and steady increments, in my experience, do not work. And that's both for me in my own playing and for my students as well. So if you can play it at 60 and then you try it at 80 and it falls apart, okay, fine. Go back to 60, then go back to 80, then go back to 70, then go to 90. Okay, if it's falling apart at 80, you might think to yourself, well, why would I try it at 90? Because after you do it at 90 and then you go back to 70 and then you go back to 80 again, it's not going to seem as challenging. This all boils down to your ear being able to subdivide beats. The fact that I can count along with it at 140 beats a minute means I'm very comfortable subdividing those beats. I just know what 16th notes are going to sound like at those tempos. My brain will tell my fingers what to do. Your fingers will move at that speed. The problem is that your brain can't tell them what to do because your ear can't subdivide the beats. Okay, so your brain is not able to tell your fingers to move at the right times at those tempos. By working at a variety of tempos, by working through musical examples, licks like this, you can absolutely get there. Okay, so I hope you will mess around with this. And what I would suggest that you do again is set a metronome at a reasonable tempo, or find a jam track. You might have a bunch of different jam tracks. That's another cool way to approach this kind of thing. Jam tracks can be a little bit tricky because sometimes you can't find them in the right keys or all the right tempos that you need. So sometimes just setting a metronome is nice and easy. But try at many different tempos and get it memorized as soon as you possibly can. As soon as you have it memorized, shut it off and hit the metronome and play it at a bunch of different tempos. And then try playing it over some different jam tracks. And I bet it will work for you. Okay, so that's all I got for today. It's a great lick. It's a killer idea. By the way, you can do whatever you want at the end. Like a bend. That kind of bend is awesome. And then maybe you could go back down after it. And in fact, we'll do another video with a down lick. So you can kind of add them together. That'd be cool. Join me for that. We'll do it next time. All right. Y'all take care. And again, I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed. If you have guitar playing friends that would get something out of this video, I hope you will share it with them. I will leave links somewhere around here for stuff. And that's it. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.